When it seemed that all the fiercest battles were left behind, many Red Army soldiers had no idea what was waiting for them near the city of Breslau. The fascists carefully prepared the city for defense, and called the Breakthrough Battalion, recalls Alexander Viktorovich Lansky, a participant in those combat events. Heavy tanks swept away the enemy's barriers, but as they moved towards the city of Breslau, the resistance of the fascists was fiercer and fiercer. When Alexander Viktorovich's tank division was already in the city, they were met by thick and acrid smoke that filled all the streets. At first, our fighters decided that the smoke screen was arranged specifically to disguise guns and other defensive weapons. But it turned out that most of the houses in the suburbs were on fire. Everything is in smoke and fire. Automatic weapons were fired here and there. Refugees were sneaking around the street. When the odds in the war were in our favor, the fascists did not hesitate to use women, old people and children, but our guys knew about it and were ready for anything. Alexander Viktorovich ordered the mechanic to stop the tank, after which a German woman in the form of a clerical employee approached them and said, "Herr Officer, I've been waiting for you very much." The tankers had to look for an interpreter to understand exactly what the woman wanted from them. When an interpreter was brought in, he explained that the women were hiding from their own soldiers. Realizing the hopelessness of it, they forcibly drove people into the trenches and enrolled them in Volkssturm detachments. The German woman said that a detachment of the German military arrived and took away everyone who met them on the way. All teenagers and old people. Later she found out that her elderly father had died in one of the involuntary detachments. They were afraid that their children would be taken away, and they themselves would be forced to entertain the soldiers. There was no longer any discipline among the German soldiers. The speeches of Hitler and Goebbels were powerless before the maternal instinct and tea. Later, a message came from them that an enemy armored personnel carrier was spotted. Ours fired at it, but not successfully. As a result, they disappeared. The Red Army soldiers were sure that the fascists came to recruit and find food, but they did not dare when they saw our tankers. Ahead of our guys were waiting for heavy battles for the city of Breslau itself. We did not want children and the elderly to complement the senseless victims of this terrible war, said Alexander Viktorovich.